still, you know, an incredible finish. If it ends this way, that 13 car, Ty Dillon, he's still running third. His teammate here, Newman, running fourth. And that's going to be a heck of a day for those guys.
Sieg in the 83 moves aside in turn 3.
And see, Newman's doing a great job of protecting the bottom, making it really difficult to get underneath him and complete this pass. See if Mark Truex can roll that bottom and make it happen here. I think he's going to clear him now.
Should be able to. Newman went up the hill a little bit and opened the door for Truex on the bottom.
Junior pulling up on the left car. 6th, Murray behind him. Then Austin Dillon.
Just another really good day for the 88 car. Hung in there all day. Trying to, get good strategy at the end. Got him in a position where he's going to get a top 10. That's pretty impressive.
I think he's going to get a better finish than the car he had most of the day.
Yeah, he was back 15th most of the day. Right now, here he is running 6.
I think into this top 10, I'm looking at a lot of cars who really need a solid day today to build some momentum on. Chase Elliott, Austin Dillon came off that win. He needs to follow that up. He's going to do that. Ty Dillon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., McMurray. That's the trend I see right now of the top 10.
We'll show you the lead.
It's pretty big.
It's about a straightaway with 6 to go.
He's just steadily increased the lead. I think Jimmy's just kind of come to the decision that he's not going to be able to catch him just nice and solid here today on the 48. But remember, Jimmy Johnson started in the back. So he had to work his way to the front. He's been there most of the day. Still a nice finish.
And when you think of notches in your belt, and I go back to Kyle Larson, I mean, if he wins this race, if the caution doesn't come out, he doesn't have a problem. If he wins this race, he went up against the best today, and that's Jimmy Johnson.
And oh, by the way, let's start looking for the broom, because this would be a clean sweep.
Yes.
For Kyle Larson on both Saturday's Xfinity race and Sunday's Cup race.
And it's redemption for what happened to...
Man, 3rd place here.
Well, this might be this may not turn out so good for Erik Jones.
Caution. Car in the wall, turn 2. And it is David Reagan.
Now, who do you think this favors?
Woo!
The 78.
And you got Truex in 3rd. Now we've got a race.
I think the 78, it benefits him the most because he's got pretty darn good tires.
14th caution flag of the day. Well, things were heating up. First, here's what happened to David Reagan.
Ooh, you hear that tire, man, and that is hard lift. Whoa.
That's your eye, bud. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was a good one.
That's multiple issues for both front row cars.
Sorry, Frank.
And now here's Erik Jones going after Kevin Harvick for a top 10 spot.
I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. Sort of.
That's definitely a favor that might get repaid.
I think these guys are pretty happy because they're sitting in the catbird seat.
Right back into this thing.
Wow. He didn't just hit with the right front. David Reagan's out of the car. He's okay. The car is not.
Guys, we have 16 drivers on the lead lap. We know all the guys up front. Truex has no more tires. But I would say somewhere back there, maybe about 8th or 9th on back, they may come get that last set of tires.
Yeah,
what do you got to lose?
The other good thing for Truex, he'll be starting 3rd.
Pit road is open. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads Jamie McMurray, Austin Dillon, Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, and more onto pit road. Now, here's what we heard from Kyle Larson.
But I think we made our bet here. I think we just got to stay out. It's going to be a green-light checker. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, I saw Chad Johnson. He just dropped his head and said, oh, my.
Boys, I think we're going overtime.
Short and sweet from the radio, Kyle Larson.
Yep.
I think everything is falling right into Truex's hands right here, though. He's going to restart 3rd. He's going to, if he gets a nice restart here, he's going to be on the inside. Could really work out well for him.
Now, his last pit stop was 18 laps after Larson and 12 laps after Jimmy Johnson.
Just enough. Just enough to make a little bit of difference.
So we have about 7th on back, I think. Came in and took tires.
You see Truex there has the freshest ones. Oh, goodness. In section 9, Dale Earnhardt Jr., too fast exiting.
And Greg Ives had rolled the dice, went with just right side tires on that 88 car, as well as Chase Elliott, Daniel Suarez in the 19 right circle.
Man, and he was sitting there running 7th place, and
That means he will restart 17th. Here's Jimmy Johnson talking about restarts.
Coming in the restart box, you're just trying to be aware of your surroundings. Depending on where you are in the running order, some tracks it's much more important to have cars tucked up right behind you for a push. Other scenarios, other tracks, especially if you're on the front row, when you think that the driver is going to accelerate, to time it with him, or if you're the leader, trying to catch someone off guard, maybe drifting back a little bit, and you can punch it and get an advantage there.
A little lengthy cleanup there in turn 2 for David Reagan. Remember that last restart last
We
year?
were talking to Jimmy Johnson about a restart because last year, boy, there were all kinds of problems as he couldn't get it out of second gear. He's the leader, doesn't get going. They all stack up behind him, and we have the big one here at Dover.
pretty much the same players at the front of the field right now, too. Kansas, Johnson, the whole crowd, they're right there. Truex. Mike, one thing about it, when you look at the two guys on the front row there, Johnson and Larson, and you got right behind them Truex and Ty Dillon. This could be really interesting if the front row doesn't get going like they should.
That's right.
Well, I think there's a very good chance that Jimmy Johnson and Kyle Larson, but especially Jimmy on that inside lane, I'm pretty sure that Larson will take the outside, will spin the tires. And what has Martin Truex Jr. had all day long? A launch. He can take off.
Good restarts, yeah.
Here's Martin Truex's radio.
Like, can I find better tires? That'd be sad. Probably not, but you know what's going on in the past? I don't know. We'll see, I guess. I was just trying to pump you up. I don't mean it, bud.
I don't need any help.
Pumped up.
I love it when the driver comes back like that. I don't need any help right now. But the other thing is, remember Johnson caught that caution flag earlier in the race. So things have been going his way. And it might just go his way here on this restart.
Things have been going Kyle Larson's way, too.
It's going to be interesting, yeah.
Kyle Larson, after experience shows, could being on the front row for the restart, is there a downside to that?
My restarts are amazing when I'm not on the front row. When I'm on the front row, that's where I tend to get beat and where I need to get better at to win those stages and the overall race.
Oh, wow. Great job getting that soundbite, and he's going to have to change that.
Here's the radio.
Kyle, this 4080 hasn't been racing us real clean. So for the 78 won't be there, so we just get a good restart, get it nice and cleaned off. Yes, sir.
Just remember that 42 and the 48 had a little issue. Remember the 78 and the 42 had a little issue. So that's what they're referring to. They may not race this real clean.
You could hear that same response on all their radios. I don't know who thinks who's racing one another clean.
If I was back at Ryan Newman, Erik Jones, 5th, 6th, Chase Elliott, 7th, I'd be looking at my chops right now. This could get big.
It could.
So we're going to overtime. They'll wave the green flag in the restart zone as usual, and we get one attempt to get a clean restart. If they make it to the overtime line, you see on the graphic that's just about midway down the back straightaway, then the next flag will end the race, whether it's yellow or checkered. And we'll keep trying until we get one.
One to go.
Remember early in the race, when Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Larson were racing each other pretty hard right here, off into turn 3.
Just trying to help a brother out here. Get right up out of the way. 78
Got pretty loose. 42 got loose getting into 3.
They'll get loose when your rear tires are off the ground. It just happens that way.
So here we go with Larson and Johnson on the front row. Kyle takes the outside. Truex and Ty Dillon. Newman and Jones, Elliott, McMurray, Suarez and Dillon, the first 10 of 18 cars on the lead line.
Larson just had to run through speedy dry. That's going to get on the tires. He's got to find a way to get that cleaned off.
I tell you, you know what? Some of the drivers told me, Mike, everybody watches the front row to see what those front. They don't want anybody to beat, want the outside guy to beat the guy that starts the race to the line. That means the guys in the second row can lay back just a little bit, and get a little advantage.
Now, because of that oil dry in turn 2, NASCAR has added 1 lap. So we'll get to think about this for another minute.
Yeah, and exactly what you're saying, DW, and we heard Kyle Larson talk about. He's a great restarter, but when he's on the front row, here we watch it.
Wow, that's
they hadn't quite cleaned that speedy dry up.
Wow, it's when he started
rubber and debris and all kinds of things coming off the car there. But when you're the leader, everybody else is trying to anticipate you, and if they can just carry 1 mile per hour or more speed, they have momentum that you don't have. So what that does is it sort of makes you rush the throttle, and you can spin the tires so much easier by being the leader than others.
Now here they come to turn 2. When you come through there at speed with that oil dry up in the top groove, would you rather be on the inside? Or will it matter by the time they come back?
I don't think it's going to matter. It's almost on the straightaway there.
Once you get to that point, I think you're good to go. But I think this is going to be one of those restarts that we may talk about for a long time. A lot like the one we saw here last year.
3 of the top 7 drivers, Ty Dillon, Jones, Elliott, looking for their first career Cup win. Here we go with overtime, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Mike, this is anybody's race right now. Don't count anybody at the end of victory circle just yet.
California kid versus the 7-time champion. Green flag.
Larson did not get the start that he wanted. He's going to have to work hard to get the outside of Jimmy Johnson here.
Oh, McMurray 3 wide.
Oh!
Wow, he's sideways. Oh, no.
The thrash been straight away.
Oh, no.
I think they made it to the overtime line.
Now NASCAR will have to look at video to determine whether the leader was at the overtime line or not before the caution.
So many good cars. We're having great days here, all wadded up in the third turn.
Allmendinger destroyed. Dillon against the turn 3 wall.
What a shame.
Jones comes down pit road completely wrecked. Kasey Kane.
Car just wadded up. 77's crippled going down pit road there with the whole nose caved in.
All right, let's watch the leader, who is Jimmy Johnson.
See the stay drive flying up, but I think it might have affected the 42 car a little bit. I saw him wiggling a little bit there.
And there is the overtime line.
What do you think?
I think he's past it. Definitely.
So under caution, the race leaders will come around to the checkered flag. Cole Witt climbing out. We'll get a total of the cars involved for you. Ty Dillon was able to come across. And Jimmy Johnson will tie Cale Yarborough on Stock Car Racing's all-time win list. Johnson wins his 11th at Dover.
He's got a lot of fans here in Dover because they're all cheering for that.
I don't know that anybody saw that coming. I don't think they thought he was going to pull it off today, but he did. I really felt like things were going his way when he stayed out on that one time there in the caution. He got a lot of cars to lap down there. Look at Chad.
What I was a little surprised by Larson, I know he's already a little bit hesitant on this restart by being the leader, but he waited so late in the box, in the restart box to take off. I think that only added to his wheel spin.
So let's review. They waved the green flag for overtime. And the rule is if the leader gets to the overtime line, which is right at the R in Dover, on the back straightaway, directly opposite start finish there, he's past there, and we're still green. that's the race. The next flag, yellow or checker, ends the race.
Yeah, and that wreck was happening, but the caution really didn't come out until they were in turn 3. Watch Ty Dillon. He gets loose, then a little bit of contact between he and his teammate Ron Newman.
Hard contact, 77 and a 13 there.
Then it's on.
Yeah, and he gets into the one was it McMurray down there,
Allmendinger, Payne, Jimmy Johnson.
Where is he?
He's in that big haze. Jimmy taking the checkered flag is today's Sunoco fueling victory. And look at some of the drivers that finished in the top 10 behind them. 4th for Newman, 5th for Elliott, 6th for Daniel Suarez. McMurray, Hamlin, Harvick, and Danica Patrick, the top 10. Our 5-hour energy, extra strength move of the race is going to be the final restart.
Here they come. And look, Larson doesn't take off till so late. He spins the tires just a little bit. That's all it took. Jimmy made up for that restart last year that cost him.
See Larson right there gets a little loose, but it doesn't matter.
Big impact from 77 to Barrett Jones.
So many cars all on top of each other.
Jimmy Johnson, career win number 83, tied for 6th on the all-time list. Jimmy Johnson burns down the house in Dover.